Hi there, Chris here with another installment in my in-depth look at Codex Eldar. And so in this video, we're gonna look at the fast attack choices for our Codex Eldar. Lots of good stuff in here. Fast attack, my favorite subject when talking about Eldar. Well, okay, not completely my all-time favorite. We'll get to the all-time favorites, right, with the heavies. And so with fast attack, we see some nice changes here. Swooping Hawks, one of my favorite units in the Eldar Codex. On top, like, beside, not too far behind on the jet bikes, but I know a lot of people don't like the Swooping Hawks, but I don't know why. They're such a good unit, especially against, you know, low toughness, low armor units. They spit out 2 shots at 24 inches. Like, what's not to like about that? When they come onto the table, they drop grenades. That's a free shot at somebody. Like, I'm not sure why people don't like Swooping Hawks, but hey, you know, what are you gonna do, right? So let's dive right in. Let's have a look at the fast attack choices. Now, with this iteration of the Codex, we do see a few new units, some oldies, but goodies. The Swooping Hawks start off at 5, right? Their profile has not changed much. The X-Arch, you know, he goes up in areas that you expect, of course. They're jump infantry, 5 guys. And I do believe that their points do come down, which is not bad, considering that they're still one of my favorite units. They've got a ton of war gear on them. They have aspect war armor, heavy aspect for the X-Arch. They've got the trusty rusty las blasters, haywire grenades, plasma grenades. They got the grenade pack, and they got Swooping Hawk wings. Special rules are Ancient Doom, Battle Focus. Love that Battle Focus. Fleet, Herald of Victory, and Sky Leap. They get the Sky Leap now by default. The X-Arch doesn't have to buy this power anymore. It automatically comes. And the Herald of Victory, that's a nice one too. It's basically no scattering, right, when they deep strike. And so for options, you can buy 5 more Swooping Hawks, take them up to a total of 10. You can upgrade 1 to an X-Arch, and that X-Arch can exchange his las blaster for a Hawk Talon or a Sun Rifle. Both really good options, depending on what you're fighting. Now, often with Eldar armies, and I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but often with Eldar armies, it is kind of hard to create an army that is balanced for whatever you're going to fight. Because oftentimes, if you don't really know what you're going to fight, you'll not struggle, but you often not have enough units to deal with what you want to do effectively. And so that's often where we get into trouble as far as dealing with opponents, right? If we know what we're going to fight, then we can take the appropriate things that are really good against it. And so, yeah. So when you're dealing in like tournament type situations, it's often, you know, play to the strength, but it's really hard to create a balanced list to take on all different things, because you're just going to have a smattering of units and it's going to be really quite eclectic. But then again, maybe it does work really well. I'm not sure, you know. Actually, I'd kind of like to see what a lot of tournament lists, Eldar tournament lists look like. And so the X-Arch, he could take a power weapon. He could have 2 of the following X-Arch powers, of 3 of course. Night Vision, Marksman Eye, and Hit and Run. All great abilities. Night fighting's, you know, it's not bad, but it all depends. You know, it's situational, right? I mean, I really don't see you buying it every game. Marksman's Eye, yeah. Hit and Run, you know, I don't know, if you play your Swooping Hawks up close, then yeah, you probably want the hit and run. But I usually don't play my Hawks very close. I usually play them bouncing at the table edges. And now with that Herald of Victory, they can do that no problem. You know, I usually, whenever I'm playing my Swooping Hawks, I'll grenade over here, jump to almost like a corner over here, and attack a weak point and start harassing it. And then in the following turn, if need be, they take off, and you know, they're basically a really excellent harassment unit most of the time. But again, with Eldar, it's very situational, and it's often picking the right target with the unit. One unit does one thing really well, and other things, not so much, right? Swooping Hawks, yeah. Let me know what you guys think about swooping hawks. I know a lot of people out there are not crazy about swooping hawks. They never take them and think they're garbage. They're not garbage. They're really good. They just don't have their place all the time. But now with these nice additions to them, that Herald of Victory, that's a really good one. Just like takes the guesswork out of them. Skyleap, they just get Skyleap just by default. So even if you just took a minimal squad of guys, they can do what you need them to do, right? 5 swooping hawks can just do what you need it to do. And that's just awesome. And so next, let's have a look at warp spiders. Warp spiders were an addition to Eldar in the 2nd edition. They were great in the 2nd edition. Maybe broken, but they were great. They were a great unit. And they nerfed them when 3rd edition came around. And they just nerfed them so bad that I never even bothered taking them again. I don't even have warp spiders in a unit in my army because I was just so upset because I sold my warp spiders back in the day. And so I was just upset. I raged. And so their profile is consistent with Aspect Warriors. A Exarch is consistent with an Exarch. They're jump pack infantry, or jet pack infantry, excuse me. You buy them at 5, and you can add up to 5 more. They have heavy aspect armor. They have the Death Spinner, and they have the warp jump generator. Now these guys are really good at the hit and run. And special rules, here, get a load of this. Ancient Doom, shock. Battle Focus, awesome. Fleet, almost necessity. Hit and run, they automatically come with hit and run now, which is awesome. Because that warp jump generator, man, these guys can just totally skedaddle out of an area and, you know, just keep harassing the enemy. And with their guns, like their guns now are really good. Monofilament, that special rule, it's, you know, it's awesome. It's essentially like a rending, right? You can upgrade the Exarch to be an Exarch, of course. He can exchange his Death Spinner for a Twin Link Death Spinner or Spinner Net Rifle. So, not bad. He can also have Power Blades. It's kind of pricey for that, though. And he can have 2 of 3 Exarch powers. Fast Shot, pretty good. Marksman Eye, really good. And Stalker, pretty darn good. And so, the unit basically becomes this heavy, you don't want to say assault, it's a close support unit. Like swooping hawks are more of a medium support unit. Warp spiders are a close support unit. You really don't want to get these guys stuck in hand-to-hand combat. But if you do, at least you have the Exarch there. But only if you've equipped the Exarch for close combat. But if you want to maximize the amount of firepower, then you don't give that Exarch. Well, I guess you could give him no, it's not an exchange. So yeah, he can have his close combat weapons on top of his rifles. So, you know, this is another harassment unit. But it's fast, so it's a flanking unit. Like hawks are kind of a fill a gap in. Warp spiders, you send them on a flank and harass your enemy. And because of the weapon, the nature of their weapons, they're monofilament guns, they can take out all sorts of stuff now. Warp spiders are really good. They're not quite, they're not quite what I was used to when I first got into them, but yeah, they're still good. They're better than what they were in the last codex, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got it all wrong. Let me know what your warp spider stories are, because I mean, I'm thinking warp spiders are just kind of, or maybe it's just because I'm biased because of what they were like before. But anyway, moving on. Shining Spears. Shining Spears, their profiles, it's the same as an Aspect Warrior. The Exarch, same as an Exarch's profile. These guys ride jet bikes, so they're nice and fast. You start off with 3 of them, and you can take them up to 9 now. So you can get a bigger squad of them now. Before they used to be cap out at 5, but now you can take them up to 9, which is not bad at all, which is a lot better, really. And their points cost is about, I think they're cheaper now. I think these guys are actually cheaper. Don't quote me on that, though. And so these guys have heavy aspect armor, laser lances, and they ride Eldar jet bikes. Shocking. Now, I don't know why they make the distinction between heavy aspect armor and the jet bikes have mesh armor when they both have the same save. Does that mean heavy aspect armor would get a better save on if he was on a jet bike? I don't know. Special rules. They get Ancient Doom. Battle Focus. Again, I'm not sure why these guys get Battle Focus, because they're on jet bikes. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mentioned in the previous video about, you know, Battle Focus and jet bikes. If you caught that little bit of a rant, I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading it. Let me know. Can jet bikes benefit from the battle focus? They get outflank and skilled riders right off the hop. So even if you take 3 of them at the base cost, they already have outflank and skilled rider right off the hop, which is awesome. Skilled rider is awesome. And so this X-Arc can be upgraded. The X-Arc can exchange his lance for a power weapon or Star Lance. Star Lance is pretty nice, like a little melter shot kind of thing, almost. The X-Arc can also take 2 of 3 powers: Monster Hunter, Disarming Strike, and Hit and Run. All really good powers. Really, I think, a necessary upgrade to this unit from the previous edition, because I don't think a lot of people took Shining Spears for a lot of things. And so, yeah, I think we're going to see more Shining Spears units. Spears units? Spears. Shining Spears units. And so, yes, this is definitely a nice upgrade to the unit. And I'm pretty sure the points cost does come down, and the ability to take larger squad sizes. I think that's what really hurt them before, was the fact that they can only have 5 in the unit. I think that's why a lot of people didn't bother with them. Now that they get the skilled rider and outflank, and then on top of that, the X-Arc can have 2 other abilities that are going to boost the unit. These are some really nice upgrades, I think. And I don't own Shining Spears, so I think I will be including Shining Spears in my army, just because it's a jet bike unit, and you know, it's Samhan, right? And so, moving on. Here is a new addition to this codex, completely new to the Eldar. Not the concept of it, because this is a flyer now. But this is an aspect unit that is they man flyers. These are aspect warriors who fly. And so, but I mean, I don't know why they make that distinction, other than just for flavor, I suppose. But this is a flyer. The interesting thing is that you can pay for an X-Arc that pilots this flyer, and this is really kind of interesting, because he gets better ballistic skill. And so this is pretty crazy. Now, the Crimson Hunter is this new aspect warrior. And it's got a nice little glyph too. It almost looks like the Dark Reaper, but not. Anyway, getting sidetracked here. Crimson Hunter. He's got the aspect warrior's ballistic skill, but it's got really weak armor. Okay, its armor is the same as like a Viper, whereas everybody else's flyers, they can have these, like the Vendettas and the Valkyries, Storm Ravens. You know, like they all get really good armor, and yet the Eldar don't get a good armor. Even the Dark Eldar got a flyer with good armor, decent armor. And so, yeah, Eldar always get crap armor, but hey, it's Eldar, and you know, used to it. Now this thing's really good though. It's got good hull points, the same as a Wave Serpent. Now this thing is just a flyer. You only get 1 per choice. It's kind of meh. Its price point is not too bad, but what it comes with is 2 Bright Lances and a Pulse Laser. So that's 3 weapons it can shoot in a turn, and effectively being 4 shots though, at a ballistic skill 4. Or if you upgrade it to the X-Arc, it's a 5. He gets Perfect Strike. Well, the X-Arc does, only gets this Perfect Strike. They've got Sky Hunter and Vector Dancer. So here we go, Eldar Codex, Vector Dancer. That universal rule finally has a purpose, right? Well, we all figured that Vector Dancer was for the Eldar, right? And so like Forge World, anybody familiar with the Forge World flyers, they all had Vector Dancer. And Vector Dancer is a really nasty ability because it makes Eldar very maneuverable. But Eldar's supposed to be maneuverable. And anybody who whines, well, you tell them to take a walk. And so the upgrades, it's got a few options for it. The Crimson Hunter can be upgraded to an X-Arc. The X-Arc can replace both its Bright Lances with Star Cannons, which is not bad, giving it an opportunity for 6 shots a turn from 3 weapons. And, you know, Ballistic Skill 5, I mean, this guy can murder all sorts of infantry on the ground. The Crimson Hunter X-Arc can take the following X-Arc powers: Night Vision and Marksman Eye. Marksman Eye is a really good one. Night Vision, handy. And for its points cost, you know, it's not bad. So, but that's a new addition to the Codex. Now, I like it. I'll probably eventually get some of these guys and maybe make a squad of them. Make a squad of 3, right? Have 2 warriors and an X-Arc. Have them all flying together like a big, you know, like a aspect warrior unit, right? Really, that's what they should have done with this unit, is given it a larger composition, kind of like how the flyers for the Imperial Guard, and you know what I mean, how you can have like a 1 and 3 count as a single choice. That's what they should have done with this unit, just to make it feel more like it was an aspect warrior unit. Or maybe I'm reading too much into that. Or then Eldar would get the opportunity to spam flyers at everybody, which we can anyway, but... So, yeah, let me know what you think about that. I think it should have been a 1 to 3 choice, just so that it had that same flavor. But the hull points, it's got a huge amount of hull points for a fighter. Like, that's really good. And it's all heavy weapons. Like, this thing is mean. It's a mean fighter. Vector Dancer just makes it gross. And the Exarch gets Precision Strike. Now, Precision Strike, okay, let's have a quick look at Precision Strike. And it'll take me a moment here to find the flyer. Oh, there it is, just past them. Crimson Hunters. Precision Strike. Oh, they get to make your precision shots, that's what it is. Okay, so, yeah. And Sky Hunter, yes, this is the other really good one. Where you get to re-roll your penetration rolls. That's just mean. It's mean. This flyer is mean. It's mean. But it's Eldar. And it's really mean, but it's armor point. I mean, bolters can take this thing out of the air. I mean, right? That's kind of garbage, right? And so, next on our list of fast attack, Viper Squadrons, one of my favorites. And so it gets the bonus, just like the Guardians got a bonus. This guy gets a better ballistic skill now. Awesome. Same armor. It's only, it's minimal hull points. It's a fast, open-topped skimmer, and it's 1 vehicle, but you can pay for up to 2 more, so you can have the squadron of 3 as usual. Its point cost right off from the start. It seems like an increase, but really it's not, because you're already paying for the shuriken cannon, because its war gear is the shuriken cannon and twin-linked shuriken catapults. Not bad. With the increased ballistic skill, this guy already gets better for the points. It's really kind of matching its points cost now, because in the last edition, they really didn't match that points cost. It was just kind of... And so, the upgrades, you can have 2 more Vipers in this unit. Any Viper can exchange its cannon for a Star Cannon, Bright Lance, Scatter Laser, or Missile Launcher. He can also exchange his twin-linked shuriken catapults for a shuriken cannon, and he can also have upgrades from the vehicle list. Very handy. It feels more in line with its points cost now, with its higher ballistic skill. And really, there's not much more than that. Vipers, I'm a big fan of Vipers, Samhan Vipers. I'm taking them because it's a fast, mobile support unit that supports my infantry. Now, most of the time, I took Star Cannons with these because the shuriken catapults just didn't have it in them to deal with Terminators and heavy stuff like that. But now that with Bladestorm on all the shuriken weapons, I may rethink the Star Cannon thing, and I might start taking either more Bright Lances or Scatter Lasers or the Missile Launchers. If the Missile Launchers had the Skyfire ability, then I probably would take Missile Launchers all the time on these guys. But, hey. And also, of course, they get the vehicle upgrades and stuff. Now, the upgrades are really nice, like the Crystal Targeting Matrix, and the one that adds to the cover save, which is Crystal Targeting Matrix, I think. I don't know, I don't remember. Anyway. Makes these guys really good. And so, yes, I'll be using more Vipers in my battles. I like them. I love Vipers. People, crap on Vipers. I don't know why, but there's some reason, like there's just some things I don't understand some people the way they think, but hey. Vipers are always awesome in my book. Always were. Always have been since they first came out. Right till the moment I'm reading this book. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Next. Now, I've not picked this model up, but it is first on my list of new models to pick up. It is the Hemlock Wraith Fighter. This thing is too cool. Its points cost is up there, and it's got a good ballistic skill. Armor is, to be expected from Eldar, and it's got good hull points. Now, it has 0 options. So you pay the points, and that's it. This is what you're getting. But this thing is cool. It has 2 heavy D-sides, which are really fun. Now, they're really close weapons, but these are really fun. It's got the Mind Shock Pod, and it's got Spirit Stones by default. Its special rules are, it's a Psychic Pilot. It's a Psyker of a Mastery level 1, and it has Vector Dancer. Now, Psychic Pilot. This guy is a leadership 10 effectively. He's only a mastery level 1, and it's got Vector Dancer. This thing is maneuverable. This thing can dance in and out of formations and such. Because of its heavy D-slides, it can attack anything and potentially wipe out even heavy objects. The Mind Shock Pod is just great against the enemy, so you're always going to be flying this thing right into the thick of the battle. And so hopefully when you're playing with this guy, you're not leaving him all on his lonesome in there. You're augmenting what he does with the rest of your force. And so that's awesome. And he automatically comes with Spirit Stone, so at least, he'll always try and ignore stuff and always give you your abilities. And so the next thing is, because he's a Psyker, he does not roll on his psychic powers, but he always knows the Terrify. Now, this guy, you can rely on him being a leadership 10 and always casting Terrify. The Terrify psychic power is brutal because fearless units lose fearless. And you augment that with Embolden, Horrify, and subtract 3 from that leadership, from that unit, force them to take a pin check, lose a close combat, force any kind of leadership test on that unit, it's gonna break. And when fearless people lose the ability to be fearless, that kind of completely throws a monkey wrench in a lot of people's battle plans. And so the Hemlock Fighter is definitely one of those things that's gonna be an addition into my army. And I really want to try it out with my Samhan force. And so this is gonna be the first upgrade with this new book that I'll be buying. When? I don't know. When I get around to it. Not in a rush. And so the Hemlock Wraith Fighter. This thing just makes my day. I just get giddy thinking about all the fun stuff that you can do with this plane. This is the part of the Eldar trickery that people want, that Eldar players really wanted. The battle focus was, was a big boost, but this is it right here. The ability to always count on this guy to have Terrify. You can do it. You can do Terrify with your Farseers, but you have to roll, and so you're not always going to get it. And especially when you really want it, you're probably not going to make the roll to get it. Whereas this guy always has it, and you can always count on him to have it. Now his price point is up there, but yeah, this is huge. I love this thing, and the model is pretty cool. And yeah, this is definitely going to be the next upgrade for my Samhan force. And I love my flyers, and this flyer it's different. It's different. It adds something new to the Eldar, and yet remains Eldar. Actually, it feels more like it could be a Dark Eldar thing too, but I guess. Let me know what you think. And so that's it for Fast Attack. Let me know what you think about any of the Fast Attack choices. Swooping Hawks, yay or nay. Shining Spears, the fighters, the fighter planes, the Hemlock. I'm a huge fan of the Hemlock. The Crimson Hunter, it's nice. It seems like a good anti-armor, anti-heavy infantry kind of vehicle, especially with that Exarch. You can pick out your guys and, with the precision shots and stuff. But that Hemlock, the Hemlock I can see a ton of uses with. And so let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Give a thumbs up if you found this video useful, helpful, entertaining. Yeah. And I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be covering everybody's favorite heavyweight category, the heavies. So I'll see you later.